Hello everybody and welcome back to another Destiny 2 video. Today is going to be the last video in my Void Exotic Chronicles for the 3 classes, as well as the last video I'm making until after Witch Queen. I'm going to give myself a little break from this, let the videos that I've posted do their thing, and go from there. Today we're going over the Hunter, the last class that we need to go over. I'm gonna just foremention this now, is that a lot of the exotics on this list, I want to say at least 3 of them, 2 of them for sure, are on this list based off of hopes and dreams, that will probably be shattered instantaneously come the 22nd, because we don't really know a lot about, the hunters and what they're changing, for their subclass. We've got the stuff they mentioned in the TWAB when they introduced Void 3.0, and we have stuff that we've seen from the videos, aka like the invisible shatter dive, which if you watch the Vidoc, there's a cool little thing in there that I didn't notice until now, is that when you shatter dive, or whatever you're going to call it, probably vanishing dive, I'm going to assume, you have the smoke bomb in your hand, which is a neat little detail. However, let's go over the things that we know Bungie is definitely changing. The first on this list is the Mobius Quiver Super. They're going to change it so that fires 2 volleys of 3 void arrows in a cone, which seek out enemies and spawn void anchor on impact. Shadow Shot makes tethered enemies volatile and deals increased damage to tethered targets. Now, the reason they're changing this is because ease of use, realistically. I don't know how many times that myself or I've seen other, quiver hunters fly off the map using this thing. And the volatile just makes enemies explode when they have that status on them. And the second thing that they've given us is Stylus Executioner, which is an aspect. Defeating a weakened, suppressed, or volatile target grants invisibility and true sight. After performing a Stylus Execution, your next melee attack while invisible weakens enemies. Now this is pretty fucking cool. I'm not even gonna lie. So basically, by just using abilities or having your friends on your fire team use their abilities to weaken, suppress, or make targets volatile, you're going to go invisible all the time. Which is why the last exotic on this list is probably going to be my #1 top tier choice. As well as probably the first option too. But the second, the last option for definite sure is going to go on, the list of exotics I'm 100% bringing in on day 1. So let's start talking about those. The first on this list is Graviton Forfeits, which comes with the exotic perk Vanishing Shadow. Increases the duration of any invisibility effect. While you are invisible, your melee recharges faster, your weapons reload faster, and your recovery is greatly increased. The reason this is on the list is because we're going to be able to go invisible all the time with the Stylus Executioner. It'll increase that invisibility effect. It will give us a faster recharge. It will reload our weapons faster, and we're going to heal faster from our just general base recovery stat. That's huge. That is so big. You get all those bonuses from just going invisible, and now we have a way to go invisible constantly. There's no need to throw a smoke at your feet, and there's no need to, dodge to go invisible. Now you can go invisible just by killing these things, defeating these targets that are, affected by these verbs that Bungie has made for Void 3.0. And there's ways to apply these yourself. Hunters are going to have suppressor grenades, tractor cannon, bombardiers you could also use to make enemies suppressed. Those aren't on the list, by the way. I thought about it, but they're not on the list. There's just so many different ways currently in game without Void 3.0 to make enemies suppressed. Volatile, Banner Shield does that. So, there are ways for this to be a really, really, really good exotic for people to use, for a neutral game type of build. My Night Stalker video that I made however long ago that has 1,000 views on it right now, has Graviton Forfeits. That build is only gonna get better. That build is gonna just go absolutely insane with the Void 3.0 stuff, not including the echoes that we're getting is what they're called, or anything else that's related to the Void 3.0. So, Graviton Forfeits, high on my list, at least second for what I'm bringing in. Second on the actual list of exotics is Orpheusriggs, which comes with the exotic perk Uncanny Arrows. Provides ability energy for each enemy tethered by deadfall anchors. Mobius Quiver has more shots. First things first, deadfall anchor is the top tree. It is the single shot tether. This exotic is capped at 50%. This was the first exotic. This exotic came out in the Red War when Destiny 2 launched, Vanilla D2. It was the first exotic to get you super back upon getting, whatever the specifications were for it to be. Kind of like shards, style, all those other exotics that do that. Ursa Furiosas. This was the first one. And when this came out, it was so broken. I remember going to Titan, doing the public event where the witch comes out of the portal, firing off one tether, and basically having quiver. They nerfed it originally to give less energy, like per tether. You could still max out your tether, use it to tether more enemies. And then they eventually capped it at 50%. Kind of sucks, also makes a lot of sense. This thing is an orb generating machine. Now, with the change to Mobius Quiver, I hope they change the second part of this, or they grant Mobius Quiver to shoot one more extra arrow per volley, thusly not making it, I think it's 6, making it 8. But we'll see. This is something I would want to test. This is something that I'm going to bring because, quite frankly, Orpheusriggs holds a very special place in my heart. Starting, Vanilla D2 as a hunter and just abusing the ever-loving shit out of this exotic. Definitely something that I'm going to bring in. For sure. Third on this list is Khepri's Sting, which comes with the exotic perk Touch of Venom. Punching somebody with full melee energy will instantly cast Smoke Bomb. Gain True Sight while in your own Smoke Bomb effect. Your Smoke Bombs deal increased damage. This is on the list because I am hopeful, very hopeful, that the Smoke Bomb from Middle Tree, Spectral Blades, the Poison Smoke Bomb, is better with this. It's already really good with this exotic. This exotic is pretty good inside of PvP. The True Sight, which gives you a ton of information via the wall hacks it grants you for, I think, about 2 seconds, is huge. Really, really fun to use. It took me a while to, figure out button mapping so I could, regular melee and charged melee on its own. So after, I think, this clip, you're going to see me dodging along and then throwing a smoke or completely whiffing, because I'm trying to, remember that I changed my button mappings for this. So, we'll have to see how, Spectral Blades and all those Spectral Blade tree components fall into the Void 3.0, style of how they're doing things. So we'll have to see on that one. Fourth on this list is Gwynson Vest, which comes with the exotic perk Roving Assassin. Each Spectral Blade skill you make before going into stealth will restore more of your super energy. This is on the list for the same reason as Khepri's Sting. I want to see how the Spectral Blade nodes fall under the Void 3.0 build set. With the echoes, aspects, all that stuff. I want to see how it performs. I want to see how good it does. And Gwynson Vest will allow you to stay in Spectral Blades for just a little bit longer. This is another good PvP exotic. It's been nerfed, it's been dealt with, it's been all that stuff before. It used to be really, really broken when it came out, as were most of the Forsaken supers and exotics that went with them. So, I'm just bringing this in for testing. That's all I'm bringing this in for. This and Khepri's Sting, I'm hoping that they will perform above average to where they perform now. The last exotic on this list, and my number one choice for what I am bringing in for Witch Queen, is Omniculus, which comes with the exotic perk Beyond the Veil. You gain a second Smoke Bomb charge and have damage resistance while invisible. When you make an ally invisible, they gain damage resistance while invisible, and you gain melee energy. This is gonna be huge. Like, we've already talked about it with Graviton forfeits. You're going to be able to go invisible all the time. And now, with Omniculus, you're going to be able to go invisible all the time and always have your damage resistance. You're going to have so much damage resistance that it's going to be absolutely absurd. This exotic right here is what I am going to be bringing into the campaign. This exotic right here, if I am not running my Stasis Hunter build, which shameless plug, you should go check out because it's really, really fun and really, really broken. I'm going to be running Omniculus anytime that I am on my Void Hunter during the Witch Queen playthrough. It is going to be absurd. You throw a suppressor grenade, kill something, you're invisible. You now have resistance. You shoot your quiver, everything's volatile, you kill them, you now have invisibility and resistance. You weaken somebody with that Stylus Executioner punch and kill them, you are now invisible with damage resistance. You can still throw the smoke at your feet, I'm going to assume, and go invisible and get damage resistance and give that to allies. It is going to be the most top tier exotic for hunters to use inside of Witch Queen. Now, the way you get this particular exotic, if I remember correctly, is you have to run the lost sectors for your chests. If there is any exotic on this list you need to top tier prioritize, it is going to be Omniculus. It is already a top tier option for most Grandmaster content. It is already a top tier option for regular, just difficult things to play. And it is only going to get better with the ease of use we're going to get by being able to go invisible. I would recommend literally, this is the exotic I recommend out of every exotic I have done. Out of the past 15 exotics that I have reviewed for Void 3.0, Omniculus is going to be the best one. Now, mind you, I am biased as a hunter main. However, from a player standpoint and someone who just looks at the numbers, the stats, how things are going to interact with each other the way I do with builds, Omniculus is going to be really huge with this and the Stylus Executioner aspect that we're going to be getting. So just, that's going to be huge. But with all of that, everything being said, with probably the longest video that I've done for these, realistically, bring what you want, have fun with what you're going to do, farm what you need to farm, and I hope everybody has the opportunity to take a break from Destiny so that when Witch Queen comes out, you are renewed, refreshed, and ready to hit that, whatever your day one grind is. I believe I'm going to do it probably Tuesday night, maybe Wednesday. I don't know. Which means the week of Witch Queen, the 22nd. Videos will be pushed back a day so I can play the campaign, get the stuff that I need, get the information that I need to make my first video, which I'm hoping is going to be a very, very simplistic guide to weapon crafting. So there's that to look forward to. The Friday or Saturday after Witch Queen. So with that being said, I hope everybody has a good 2 weeks. Rest, relax, play what you want to play. Do the minimum amount you need to do in Destiny just to, separate yourself from that game. And I hope everybody has a good week.